Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Recha, Kodesh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And once again, you have this what's seeming to be like this random, out of nowhere they just start spiraling. But these looting, which this has been going on for a while now, but now it's becoming, more and more prevalent and more open as people are starting to see that, there's not really much consequences for it, right? People just go up in places, just start taking things. And a lot of these stores, their security, they're pretty much being told, right? When you see this happening, don't try to actually like stop the person, right? Don't try to tackle them or grab them or anything like that. So what you'll see is sometimes people just go up in the store, grab things, and then that's it. They walk out. Some of them just walk out, right? Some of them run out, whatever the case is. Now this year we have in DC, right, as it says, looting hits Gucci store in DC as chaos breaks out in city center and Georgetown areas. And there are some videos that are gonna go with this, and I'll show them. But one thing that I want you to keep in mind is this is going on now, right? And you're hearing these stores like Gucci stores. Some of them are like maybe electronic stores and whatnot. But if this is what people are doing now, for whatever reason it is, what do you think they're gonna be doing when now they're not targeting Gucci stores, they're not targeting PC Richard and Son, they're not targeting Best Buy, but now due to a lack of food or a food shortage, right, and those essential goods, they start actually going for these places where they can try to find them, right? And this is pretty much what's going to lead to people breaking into other people's houses, because when it comes to the essentials and they realize that they can't get access to that via, a store, right, because everything is taken off the shelves, then they'll start going after people who do have it. But just keep in mind, because hunger is a very, it's a maddening feeling. Let's put it like that, right? It can drive people mad. And when I say mad, I mean they're not thinking with rationale. So you look at people's behavior today and imagine how much worse it will become when this poly crisis hit, or these poly crises start to take effect and affect people's lives. Anyway, says the Washington Post confirms incidents of looting and vandalism in Georgetown City Center and other parts of Washington, D.C. in the overnight hours. The Metropolitan Police Department, MPD, released a statement that said, quote-unquote, overnight groups of individuals decided to destroy property and burglarize businesses throughout our city, specifically in the city center and Georgetown areas, along with a store in the H Street corridor, a store in Logan Circle, and a store north of Columbia Heights. The thing about this as well is this is happening, right, not just in one area or one part of the U.S., and there are various things that are happening, right? You'll hear of a incident where somebody is like getting assaulted in this area, then in a different state, they're looting and committing vandalism. Then in a different state, they're committing murder. In a different state, they're overrunning complexes, apartment complexes. So there's different things happening, right, internally, that is showing you the state of this place, that it's not, it can't be fixed. Okay, I mean, they will attempt, but really things are going in the direction that they want anyway. So there's the statement there. You can see it. If you want, you can pause the video and read it if you would like. It says here, we immediately increased our police resources in the impacted areas. Preliminary, MPD is investigating 6 burglaries and 6 destruction of property offenses in those areas, police said. But I'm sure by now, even people are starting to realize that, the way things are going, eventually and very quickly, it's not going to be a police job, right? It's going to take more than that. And that's why people are reporting seeing National Guard and other, troops in different parts of the U.S., right? Some training, some taking over different buildings. So they're already in here. Now you got to ask yourself, what are they, what are they in here for? Okay, because they understand that civil unrest is getting ready to ensue. If you've ever seen, I think maybe this is an example, right? Those areas or those movies where they'll have like those underground fighting rings, right? And they have some for people and they have some for animals, where they people train their dogs and stuff to go and partake in these things. And you'll see sometimes they'll have the dog behind in a cage or behind a fence, and the dog is literally just like dying to break out and just go and attack the other one, right? Or even another example is in the movie I Am Legend. For those that have seen it, there's a scene where the dogs are like, as the sun is going down, that's when the zombie like creatures come out, because they don't like the sun. I don't know, maybe they can't survive in it, but the dude comes out with the zombie creatures, and he has the wild ass zombified dogs or infected dogs, and the dogs are literally at the edge of the in the shade as the sun is going down and as the darkness starts to spread. And they're pacing back and forth. They can't wait to just run around and cross that joint. And the reason I'm giving this example is to sort of help you visualize the state in which these people are in. Okay, because once like they let that dog out the cage, or the sun goes down and those I Am Legend dogs book it, right? That is likened on to once this place just falls into just one more catastrophe, right? One more situation that pushes this place over the brink, and you'll see just how maddening, how crazy these people are gonna get, right? How they're gonna break forth and wild out like those wild animals behind the cage. Okay, because it just takes a little bit more desperation, and you'll see. Also, like if you watch for those that have seen the TV show not I Am Legend, what's the name of the show? The Walking Dead. When you watch The Walking Dead, if you've watched a good couple of seasons, you'll see when it comes to character progression, you'll see somebody like Rick, which was like the main character, and how he was in the very beginning when he woke up in the hospital and so on. I think he was a sheriff, versus how he had to become getting towards the end. And when you watch him in the latter seasons, you won't be able to. It'll be hard for you to think that at one point he was the way he was in the past, right? Because at first he wasn't the guy who had to like make the hard decisions, and do all of those things. At first he was like the nah man, let's resolve it peacefully and all these kinds of things. But because of the kind of world they lived in, because of how hard things were, how you had to make hard decisions, lives were on the line, sacrifices had to be made, it turned him into that kind of guy, right? Same thing with even, what's her name? Was it Carol? I think that was her name, Carol. She was the old lady with white hair, right? Gray hair, whatever. So long story short, the hard times, hard situations, depending on how society has been and who the individual is, might bring out the worst in people. And in America, you can definitely expect to see the worst in people come out. So anyway, let's take a look here. It says breaking protests and small riots are forming as numerous people break into high-end store and or set fires and commit multiple assaults. Why? Well, let's take a look.
What about shielding nobody students up there?
Yeah, okay. Didn't really see too much going on in there. It says footage of looting was uploaded to X. Citizen journalists reported that rioters stormed a Gucci store and other brick and mortar shops. And eventually these places, they're gonna have to shut down. because they're already not doing good as it is with regular sales and business, then just imagine how much damage it is when the next day, right, they come in and it's like, yo, the door is broken, the glass is broken, things have been stolen and all of that. A lot of those merchandise cost a lot of money, right? And who's gonna pay for that? Or who is that gonna come in effect? So eventually these businesses, they're gonna eventually just close up shop and be out. It says half of DCPD in city center DC after a mob tried breaking in to high-end shops and or protest against something. Yeah, something. Whatever it is, we don't know, but it's something apparently. So let's take a look. What the hell is all this? Dude, just play the video, man. Okay. Chaos in downtown DC as mob vandalizes store. Says a mob attacked a Gucci store in city center. Nothing new. You've already read about this. Protesters chanted, "Don't shoot, I'm asleep," as officers attempted to disperse the crowd. That's funny. You see here, they're not really doing too much. Oh, never mind. That's all they screaming. But a couple of interesting things to note about this, right? Is one, I'm sure if those police started opening fire on them, it'd be a completely different energy. But in any case, I think I forgot the second point that I was gonna make. But all in all, man, those. Oh, right. The second thing is those. See these guys right here? See if I go back here. These guys right here. Yeah, they just look like men in uniform, right? But that's the key point, right? Men in uniform. So they also have emotions. They're trained, but they also can get aggravated or angry, right? So imagine, when things get worse and eventually it gets to the point where they have to now respond to not delinquents, right? And not people like this that are just walking and chanting F12 or whatever, but actually people that have weapons, people that are firing back, like these kinds of situations. And it will happen, right? And you will hear those shots, not rubber bullets, but actual shots, okay? Because that's what happens when society collapses. And don't be surprised if areas where you are, in the nighttime or even in the daytime, it just sounds like a freaking war zone, okay? Because eventually that's where this society is headed. So people better get ready for that. But anyway, yeah, so these are just basic videos showing the police surrounding these different areas. Let's see what this is about. Let's see.
Center with a look at the aftermath. So, John, what are you seeing out there?
Well, Adriana, still a ton of police out here in Northwest D.C. And, you know, the region has dealt with flash mob crimes for years, but this one's a bit unique because it was overnight so widespread. 5 different locations where police are set up this morning. In some cases, high-end stores were targeted. D.C. police put out a release this morning saying that overnight, groups of individuals decided to destroy property and burglarize businesses throughout the city. 2 popular areas that were hit include where we are live this morning, City Center, and over in Georgetown, along with stores in the 8th Street corridor, Logan Circle, and Columbia Heights. Now, MPD immediately increased police resources in these neighborhoods. We've got some video here to show you. For now, detectives are investigating 6 burglaries and 6 destruction of property offenses. Now, some arrests, we are told, have been made already this morning. The department is touting quick work from officers. 5 people were taken into custody for charges, including burglary, fleeing from law enforcement. The investigation this morning includes trying to figure out if more suspects are still out there. Now, as a result of the incidents overnight, MPD will continue to maintain an increased police presence throughout the city. Now, you come back to us live, we want to show you around a little bit. You see the entire area here around City Center is blocked off. You have the area here at the intersection of New York Avenue and all the way around. Several city blocks closed off by yellow crime tape, and police have the entire area cordoned off right now as they continue to investigate. Reporting live, John Gonzalez, 7 News.
Yeah, so once again, keeping in mind what I mentioned before, these are clothes stores, merchandise, but when we get to the point of breaking into BJ's and Costco and trying to get food, this won't be just like wild mobs, right? Because I mean, they just randomly overnight decided we're just gonna go out and start breaking into these stores, right? Anyway, people will actually have a reason, so it won't be a matter of, oh, I'm just gonna run up in there at night and then in the daytime go back to my day job. Hunger isn't something that you know what I'm saying, that works that way. So just you wait until the right conditions hit. And you know, these kinds of situations get exacerbated by exterior events, right? Some natural disaster, some cyber attack, you know, some demic, something else that is causing your regular day-to-day functions to cease. Especially something like an EMP or a cyber attack or something like that. That, you know, you're gonna see a lot in there. And there was this movie I watched. I think it was Red Dawn or a different one. But in there, I believe there was an EMP that hit. And you had people all in different parts. And everybody was like, whoa, what's going on? What's going on? And there were some of them in school. And one thing that I always remember from that scene is when the EMP hit, everybody's like, oh, what's going on? But immediately, people try to calm themselves down by just saying, oh, you know, it's nothing unusual. I'm sure it'll be back on, you know, in a few hours. And then a few hours came, oh, I'm sure it'll be back on, you know, it won't take long. Let's just be calm, until the sun started to go down. And then people started to bug out and things started to get more dangerous. Then you go on a day or two, and then people start to have to face the painful realization that something bigger is going on, and this isn't just your regular power outage. See, so the point is, people, due to fear, remain in a state of denial longer than needed, and that prevents them from actually taking, you know, immediate action that can possibly help them, because they're expecting everything to go back to normal, somebody to come and comfort them, but that's not coming. And by the time people realize that, they're already late in the game. Okay? Somebody says here, I hope this is not preliminary results of the massive illegal immigrants of recent. Well, who knows, right? Who knows? Anyway, let's get this real quick. This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 5, verse 18. Oh, wrong precept. Should be 15. 2 Ezra 15 and 18. There you go. And it reads, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Now think about this and understand why it says the city shall be troubled. A lot of these cities are designed like a maze, and it's very overcrowded, right? They build apartment buildings, houses right next to each other, and you're not supposed to do that. But with this, right, when this happens, imagine even in just one apartment building when there's a fire or people are all rushing and the elevator's not working. Imagine how much chaos happens in just the stairwell alone because of, a safety hazard because everybody's trying to get out at the same time. That's just one apartment building. Now imagine in an actual city. You ever try to go somewhere during rush hour and you're maybe downtown or in some other area and you're stuck in traffic and it's like the cars are literally bumper to bumper and you can't merge out, you can't move, you're just stuck in there. This is when things are fine. People are just trying to get home, right? That's it. People are just trying to get home and go from one place to another. And that alone is already causing this much congestion and people are already stressed, honking, not trying to let anybody merge in, cutting people off, cursing at each other. And everybody's just trying to go home. So imagine then when some shit hits and people are all trying to leave at the same time. You have gridlock, right? Or something happens and people are trying to, there's basically no escape. You turn around and people over here, people over there, people over here. Okay. So that over congestion is going to make things even worse. And if you haven't noticed by now, a lot of these cities they're not built for survival. They're built to be artificial. In the cities, if you want groceries, you have to go to the grocery store. You don't have a garden. You don't have a backyard. You're not going to see deer. You're not going to see animals running around. No, unless you go in like upstate or more rural areas. But in these cities, you're not seeing that. You can see 1,000,000 trees and no fruit. So if getting out the city is a problem, how much less or how much more trying to survive in the city with all these people, with lack of natural resources and nowhere else to go. So you can understand why the cities are going to be troubled. As it says, the houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. And that time is coming and it's coming quick. And at the same time, right, Zechariah 14:2, for I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished. And half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Now, the main part here, dealing with the houses being rifled and the women ravished, keep in mind that as these things happen, which they're even happening now, right? Women, again, sexually assaulted, murdered, all manner of weird ass things. And people are that's happening today. And if you go to other countries that are like third world countries, that happens on a regular. So how much more in times when it's not I'm calling the cops, nobody's investigating, like shit is even worse. It's not like your face is going to end up on a wanted poster or you're going to show up on Amber Alert or hell's breaking loose. That's when people are going to realize that whether you like it or yes, you're going to need protection. You're going to need somebody to protect you. And it's not about saying, oh, I'm just going to go take classes on how to shoot and get a gun. It's not your defense, right? It's not just about having a weapon. If that was the case, then the second you join the military, they'll just throw your ass with a gun in your hand to wherever the battle zone is. No. Why do you think they undergo all that training, both physical and mental? Because it's not just about having a weapon, it's about being able to use it. It's not just about having a gun, it's about being able to pull the trigger. And that's the thing. A lot of people, oh, I took classes, I did this, but if you're not designed to be able to lock in, it doesn't matter how many classes you took. You probably run out the house and forget the damn gun. Okay? So the point is you're going to need somebody to protect you, somebody who is going to, stand up in that time, okay, and risk their life or whatever the case is to do what they got to do. And that's going to come down ultimately to nature, all right, and really the spirit of the Heavenly Father bestowed upon whoever it is, and to have mercy upon whom he will have mercy, as he says. But if not, you're going to get taken. And who knows, maybe the worst part of it is now you're at the mercy of whoever this guy is or whoever this group of guys is, and they could decide to kill you, they could decide to keep you, they could decide to throw you somewhere, who knows? So just know that with chaos comes all these extra things that people don't usually think about. So when you see these kinds of articles and you see footage like this, don't think, oh, that's in DC. Oh, that's a Gucci store. What the hell that got to do with me? Okay. It's like walking outside and feeling a light drizzle and saying, oh, that's just a drizzle. It didn't even touch me. What that got to do with me? The point of that is to indicate to you that you should probably get to some shelter soon, because when you see the drizzling, 90% of the times it's followed by heavy rain or some form of rain. So 2 Ezra 16:23, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. You hear that? And like the example I gave with that movie that I watched, they were looking for somebody to comfort them, for somebody to come on the news and tell them, this is fine, we're fixing it, it should be back up and running in a few hours. That didn't happen. And in the movie Leave the World Behind, right? In a case like this, there's, something hits. Now everybody's like looking to see, okay, I finally got the radio working. Let's hear what they're saying. And then to your shock, there's no talk about what to do, what's going on. All you're hearing is, this is what's happening. Currently, everything is unstable. Just get to safety. Get to safety. How you mean? You're supposed to tell me what to do. You're supposed to tell me it's going to be okay. That's the artificial world. That's not reality. It says, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. So it's only a matter of time before these cities become unrecognizable. And you walk into NYC and now it looks more like The Division, right? For those that have played that game, than than whatever, the city that never sleeps. This shit gonna be fast asleep in that time. Anyway, I'm gonna end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.